Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be continuing our read through of this magazine, The Atlas of the Ancient World. For this series, I have not read the actual pages that we're going to read together. I've just read the titles so that I could, make them into videos for you guys. So this series is, more off the cuff, whatever comes to mind, totally unscripted. Usually with my videos, I do a little run through, and if I think of something dumb, I'm like, don't say that in the final one, my goodness. But in this, you get to hear all of my thoughts. And mistakes are left in, all that good stuff. So let's talk about Carthage. There we go. I think that's good. Okay. Carthage. And of course I've got my paintbrush here so that we can brush the maps. Let's see, this says, like the Greeks, the Phoenicians founded distant colonies, the greatest of which was Carthage in northern Africa. Below are the city's ruins, which are located in what is now modern-day Tunisia. By 300 BCE, Carthage was the maritime master of the western Mediterranean and a threat to Rome. Rome built its own navy and engaged Carthage in the Punic Wars, 3 destructive conflicts between 264 and 146 BCE. Despite the brilliance of its command, I don't know what happened. My throat just stopped working. Goodness. See, that would have been cut normally, but I'm leaving that in. Despite the brilliance of its commanders, notably Hannibal Barca. My goodness. Where's my water? Oh, it's way over there. My goodness. Hannibal Barca, Carthage eventually lost. The city was razed and the people enslaved. It says, here are the ruins of Carthage. If you've seen my videos before, you know that Tunisia is on my bucket list. It's way up there just because I think Tunisia and the Mediterranean coast of Africa is just a stunning place in terms of not just like ruins here, but culture, food, atmosphere, beautiful sights, beautiful sounds, beautiful water. All of it. Someday I'm going to get to go to northern Africa and I'm going to see Carthage. Very exciting. I just don't know when, but I'm determined to make it happen someday. Where was I? I was researching somewhere in Tunisia and showing you guys on Google Earth, and it was a region that was right next to Tunis, and I couldn't help myself. I popped over to go look at Tunis. And then I checked out Carthage and saw that like the ruins are just mixed in with a regular neighborhood. Like there's a school across the street, a high school. And it's like, if you've been to high school, some of you guys are very young and haven't, which welcome. But those of us who have been through high school remember that it was not like the most amazing experience in the world. Like they hype you up in the movies, it's kind of drab. Like, I don't ever want to visit my high school again. Like the people, sure, I guess, but the actual school, nah. But I'm picturing my high school setting, but across the street is the ancient ruins of a once great city that was destroyed by the Roman Empire. And that's just part of like your humdrum high school life. I can't wrap my head around that. Sorry for the rant, but that's what you signed up for watching this off the cuff video. That also probably would have been cut in the final. But yeah, I can't imagine just my everyday life, all boring, being in an area that's so culturally significant or on people's bucket lists or anything like that. Just makes you appreciate where you live. Do you live near some ancient ruins? Do you live near some amazing historic sites that you just take for granted? I know I was like that in San Francisco. I'd never been to Alcatraz until 2019. And it was great. And I was like, why haven't I done this sooner? I've literally been here my whole life and I never visited Alcatraz. But anyway, let's look at this map, which I assume is of the Punic Wars. Let's see, the caption down here says Carthage versus Rome. Battles between Carthaginian and Roman forces spanned the Mediterranean for more than a century. For a time, the Phoenician troops benefited from their wealthy base in Spain. Carthaginian general Hannibal assembled a formidable army, including mercenaries from North Africa, Spain, and Gaul. Toward the end, however, Rome's greater numbers forced Carthage to cede all its territories outside of Africa. So let's see, Carthage in 264 BCE is the outline here. So it's all of this here. Zoom. All these areas here belonged to Carthage, so many of the Mediterranean islands here. You've got part of Sicily, and then of course what's now parts of Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, of course, and Libya. Let's see what all these shaded colors mean. The light color is Carthage between 218 and 201 BCE. Okay, so I'm confused. Okay, so like did it shrink to just the light areas, or oh, I see it expanded. But this map confuses me because in the dark color is 201. So is it saying that okay, so this was Carthage in 264 BCE, but then it extended out to here between 218 and 201. But then, like, why is this all shaded then? Because it's part, I don't understand. But then I get Carthage in 201, it's shrunk down to just this by that point. I get that. This confuses me. Okay, I guess. Because you see what I mean? Because in 264 BCE, like this area here in Libya, there's the line, but then it says in 218, 201, it includes this. Like, am I missing something? Like, why didn't they just shade this part of Spain? Why? I don't know. Anyway, let's not worry about it. Roman victory is shown by these little battle marks. And we've got a few right here in my way, 260 BCE. Over here too, Ecnomus, 256. Agrigentum, 262 BCE. Lilybaeum in 241. Those are all on Sicily. Oh, there's one more up here. Oh, that was Millie. We already saw that one. And then Syria, Cirta. What does that say? Cirta. Yeah, that makes more sense. 203 BCE. What does that say? Sam. I can't read it because it's right on the line, but there's a battle there. Over here we've got I'm looking at the arrows. Should I be reading the arrows first? I think so. Because there's Carthaginian victories, but then they all follow the arrows. So shouldn't I be looking at the arrows first? This is a confusing map. So let me see here. Campaign of Hannibal. So that's the first campaign of Hasdrubal. And then Scipio Africanus. Okay, so the first one is the blue arrows, and that was Hannibal. And Hannibal goes, they started here, right? Is it purple or blue? No, purple is Hasdrubal. Hannibal's blue. There's, oh, I see, he starts right here in Carthage Nova. And he goes up. over the Alps toward Rome, but then retreated and came back down. And then Hasdrubal, hopefully you can see, hopefully the glare is not too bad. Hasdrubal went this way through the Pyrenees and then through the Alps. And then down. Goodness, this is a confusing map. And then just here, because I don't see any more purple. He stopped, he must have been killed here at Metaurus River. It was a Roman victory, 207 BCE. I see. So, and then the green arrow is Scipio Africanus. And it looks like he went here in Pisa, and went over this way. Boom, boom, boom. Had a battle there, I'm guessing. Or was that, is it 219? So this was Hannibal. Okay. This map is so confusing. I don't really like this map. Came through this region, and then I guess later went from Sicily and attacked that way, and then this way. I don't like this map. I'm confused by it. It's too hard to read. I feel like it has too much information on it. Like, it's good information, but I'm like jumping back and forth in history trying to read this map. I'm not a fan of it. That's too bad because I like talking about this time in history. Numantia, we're going to look at that on Google Earth in 2 days. Look forward to that. We'll look at these ruins. That's funny. Okay, we're just moving on to the next page, which is about Hamilcar Barca. Let's see what it says. Best known as the father of Carthaginian conqueror Hannibal, Hamilcar Barca, with Barca meaning lightning, was a brilliant commander in his own right, who restored the fortunes of Carthage following its defeat by Rome in the First Punic War, which was 264 to 241 BCE. That was my chair, by the way. I'm swiveled. Carthage needed new sources of wealth and manpower. These it found in Spain, where the ruthless Hamilcar, to the right here, and opposite in the Spanish depiction with young Hannibal, right here, there's little Hannibal, secured control of much of the Iberian Peninsula and its resources with an army of troops and elephants. Roman chronicler Cornelius Nepos portrayed Hamilcar as a warmonger who hated the Romans and required young Hannibal to swear an oath never to befriend them. Anxious Romans viewed Hamilcar's Spanish campaign as the prelude to an invasion of Italy, a nightmare that later materialized when Hannibal crossed the Alps with his army in 218 BCE. Meanwhile, Hamilcar died as he had lived on the move, reputedly drowning during a crossing of Spain's Júcar River, I think, in 228 BCE. So let's see. Hannibal's march. Rome declared war on Carthage in 218 BCE, beginning the Second Punic War. Within a month, General Hannibal was on his way to Italy with about 40,000 troops. His route took him across the Rhone, over the Alps, and into Italy. At Cannae, his forces were outnumbered, but nevertheless managed to trap the opposition in a narrow valley, crushing Rome in the worst defeat in its history. Even so, the tide turned against him. So looking at the route of Hannibal, I guess, again, why not? So Roman territory in 216 is all in gold. So you can see the Italian peninsula here. They've got Sicily, they've got Sardinia and Corsica, and this little bit of probably Croatia, right? Today, Croatia. But the Carthaginian territory in 216 BCE was right along the coast here, probably following natural ports, Caesarea, which it probably wasn't called back then, and then through here, Zama, it's called, that's right, Zama, And there's Carthage. And then they also have all of this territory on the Iberian Peninsula in today's Spain and Portugal. And they also have the Balearic Islands here. Majorca and Minorca and all of that today. So, battles are little explosions. Let's follow his route, starting here at Cartagena, or Carthago Nova, as it was known then. Heading up to Saguntum, then to Tarchon. Which, do you think that's like Barcelona today? We're going to be talking about Barcelona next week. Next week, I believe. Look forward to that. Then heading up to the Battle of Arles in 218 BCE. And then to skip over Massilia, they went up through the Alps with all their war elephants and troops. And then fought this battle here at Trebia, looks like, 218. Going through Placentia, fighting here at Lake Trasimeno in 217 BCE. 218, okay, 218, 217. And then came down to Capua. There's the Battle of Cannae in 216. The Battle of Tarentum in 212. Hung out for a while here. Went back to Rome to attempt to invade and decided now was not the time. They turned back around, going this way and then this way. Let's not go through to Sicily. Sailing back to Zama. There's the big battle there in 202, and I believe that was the final battle where Scipio Africanus defeated the Carthaginians for good, and then they went and destroyed Carthage and claimed all their land. I believe so. Let's look at this little tile mural. There's a horse head on a stake, which is kind of sad. The horse didn't do nothing wrong. But they've got all of these troops here, all armored up, helmeted, ready to go. Got their spears. You can see their warships out on the water. And then there's Hamilcar and young Hannibal, dressed in their finest cloaks and things, I suppose. Nice sandals. We'd call those gladiator sandals today, but definitely not then, right? And he's going, everything the light touches is our kingdom. But what about that shadowy part over there? What about that boot-shaped part over there? We don't go that way. Those are the Romans, and never trust them. And then here he is in this big plumed helmet. Very fancy. I assume that says his name or something right there on this. This looks like a coin. A Spanish depiction. Oh no, this is the Spanish depiction. This is... It doesn't say. It looks like a coin, like a colored version of a coin, I assume. But anyway, that's all that I have for you tonight. About Carthage, at least. I believe next we're going to read about Alexander the Great. But unfortunately, or fortunately, however you look at it, unfortunately, we're not going to pick this magazine up until 2026. So if you're watching this in the future, you have nothing to worry about. But we're going to read history magazines for the rest of November into December until we get to the viewer's choice videos where you guys get to pick the topics. Keep an eye out on the community tab because I'll be posting it very soon, probably in the next couple days of this coming up. Posting a community tab post saying, give me your ideas and showing my criteria and all that. And maybe your choice will get picked. It all really depends on what's available at the library and what works for me to film. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll stop rambling. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational. And I hope that you have a good night. Good night. Good night. I really need to reach for my water now. Can you hear the crackle in my throat, in my mouth? My goodness, let me... Oh, I've been trying to sit so carefully so my chair wouldn't squeak. Do you want to hear us? It's so squeaky. If I just move even a little bit, it's so squeaky. Anyway. Oh, that's so much